behalf of Mr. James S. Rowan, class of 1982, chairperson of the Prep Board of Trustees, Father Devron, the administration, and faculty, I am pleased to declare the 171st commencement exercises for the Fordham Prep class of 2016 in session. This is a day of celebration and joy. It is also a day to honor our graduates of the historic class of 2016. We use the Rose Hill Gym so that family and friends may attend. Remember, however, the dignity and attention which this day deserves. We ask you to sit and to limit movement around the room to a minimum. Please stand now and join with Mr. Ken Farnham, class of 75, and the other musicians in singing our national anthem, and then remain standing for the benediction, which will be given by Father Stanley J. Okonski, S.J.
Well, class of 2016, you've arrived. And we faculty and administrators came along for the ride. But now we have to stay behind and let you go, because that road ahead belongs more to you than it does to us. But know that our love and our prayers go with you. So let us pray.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Good and gracious God, Father, you are certainly a God of mysteries and miracles, ironies and surprises. 4 short years ago, these young men stood as boys before a road that seemed daunting and scary, with twists and turns, hills and valleys, some smooth, others rugged. Supported by family, teachers, and friends, they moved ahead, cautiously, yet confident. They found the best knowledge was the hardest to acquire. The greatest triumphs were won only by sacrifice. Each milestone brought them new friendships, some so deep they will last a lifetime. And the best teachers, administrators, and coaches refuse to allow them to settle for nothing less than the best that they can summon from themselves. Some of the worst of times became the best of times. Now we faculty and administrators pull to the side of the road to let you pass beyond us. And you discover this road has a name. Emmaus. Like those two first disciples of Jesus, may you always recognize him in the breaking of the bread, that you may recognize him in others, and especially that wonderful mystery, yourselves. God bless you.
Please be seated. Each year, a member of the graduating class is selected to speak for the class on this occasion. This year, the Senior Awards Committee and the senior class itself has selected Nicholas Scambia. I now call upon Nicholas Scambia to share his reflections on the experiences at Fordham Prep of the class of 2016.
Hello and welcome, everyone. I would like to start by saying thank you to Father Devron, Mr. Carney, Ms. Napoli, Mr. Ahern, the rest of the faculty and staff, my classmates, our parents, and lastly to Father Bowler and Mr. Gomprecht who got us started. Without all of you, these past 4 years would not have been possible. I would like to congratulate my classmates on all of the triumphs and successes that have led us here. A special day in our lives, but also an important moment in Fordham Prep's rich history. It is an honor to graduate with the class that celebrates the Prep's 175th anniversary. I was told by people who had already graduated that the time at the Prep would be some of the best 4 years of my life. They were right. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you all today to speak on behalf of the class of 2016. 175 years ago, the first Fordham Prep students arrived here for school. 170 years ago, the first graduating class finished their years at the Prep and moved on to college. There was a total of 7 students. 7 years ago, my dad was devastated when my brother Franco decided to come to Fordham to cause all kinds of trouble in the school. You see, my dad had attended that other prep school up in New Rochelle. All kidding aside though, I have always looked up to Franco, and it was his experiences at the Prep and the character he developed here that really drew me in and made me confident that it would be the right place for me. I think my dad has gotten over his decision. 4 years ago, our class of 2016 arrived as strangers for the start of freshman year. Excited to start a whole new experience, but nervous for what to expect. We didn't know it then, but fast forward 4 years, and we strangers become like brothers. 4 years ago, the university church was being renovated, so we had our first school-wide mass in the theater. The upperclassmen welcomed us to the school with an applause that must have lasted 5 minutes. 4 years ago, Donald Trump was only a businessman. 4 years ago, Mr. Max Stein-Eye on the board was watching us during freshman biology. 4 years ago, we came to Fordham still teenage boys. Today, we will walk out of here young men. What a truly special place Fordham has become for us, and what truly special times we have all had here. Times in the classroom, in the commons, on the back field, at events, on retreats, or with our sports teams. 2 years ago, we had one of our best Christmas assemblies. We had the Otis chant going, we were screaming the 12 days of Christmas back and forth at each other, and we were all hysterical as Mr. Merck ran around the halls doing his FPTV cop skit. 2 years ago, we began to embark on our Emmauses, where we were really able to reflect and strengthen our relationships with God, with each other, and with ourselves, all of which have changed, hopefully for the better. Over the years, there have been other changes too. We have seen a new president, a new principal, and a new experience of having devices in the classroom, mostly used for learning. A year ago, the hammering began on the new commons in the front entrance, and in the 38 weeks since then, we've logged over 14,000 hours of service for the greater glory of God. Our time at the Prep has been filled with highs, but there have also been some tough times. 5 months ago, I was devastated by the news that my papi had passed away due to lymphoma. 3 months ago, we lost 3 members of our community in the span of a couple weeks. However, we are Fordham Prep. And it was during times like these that our community, our brotherhood, came together in the strongest way. And it was through our comfort and care for each other that we were able to bring light to these dark times and bring life back to normal. A couple months ago, we were kicking back and relaxing in the Commons, learning the ways of the Force on Star Wars Day. About 8 weeks ago, FP Baseball took Myrtle Beach by storm as we began to dominate the league. Room 305, never forget. 1 month ago, we were dancing that first dance with our moms at Mom Prom. And I know it'll be a moment that our mothers and we will cherish forever. I love you, Mom. By the way, Franco, she told me not to tell you, but I was always her favorite. 16 days ago, we all shared with each other our FP memories, reminiscing on all the great times that we have had together, and we could go on and on about. 15 days ago, we had our last day of classes. My dad asked me how it went. It's all been great, Dad. I think messing up on the Regis interview was the best choice I've ever made. And finally, as of an hour ago, believe it or not, it may finally be too late to join the freshman cross-country team. So here we are now. Now, we graduate with the education and skill set that is expected of a prep grad at grad. To Dovis, it's been a hell of a 4 years with you guys. 4 years ago, most of us had never met each other before. Now, I feel like we know too much about each other. Thank you for all of the memories we have made together. Memories like playing Schmally. For some reason, Tino, Gianluca, and Peter's random noises have become funny. Matt Calenda's screaming laugh. Road trips to Philly. Our infamous chants against Iona. Sorry again, Dad. Colin Judge's school spirit. Jug. Our trips to Italy. And just normal everyday events like joking around in class or messing around in commons. It was things like these that made me want to be here at school and enjoy every day with you guys. 3 months from now, we will start a new beginning at our respective schools, meeting new kids and living the college life. Fordham has prepared us all for success for the future, and I wish you all the best of luck as we start a new era. 4 years from now, we will all be graduating from college and taking over the real working world. Some of us will be bankers, some of us will be engineers, maybe even some doctors, lawyers, and CEOs. John LeConte will be the next Skip Bayless, and Peter Cusick will be taking down ISIS after he's done at West Point. Who knows where we'll be 10 years from now? 25 years from now, hopefully we will have some great stories to share with each other at our 25th year reunion. Maybe even 35 to 40 years from now, we will even be sending our own sons to the prep. As we celebrate the 175th year of Fordham Prep's history, let us look ahead 175 years from now. All of us will probably be gone, except for Father Chuck, who will absolutely still be teaching seniors how to do definite integrals and AP Calc. However, what won't be gone is the impact we will have left in the world. Let us make this world better for our having been here. 1 year ago in Miss Simeone's Italian class, we watched a movie called Cinema Paradiso. There's a quote from the movie, I apologize if I mess up the Italian, Miss Sim. It goes, Io non voglio sentire parlare più. Voglio sentire parlare di te. Qualunque cosa si finisce per fare l'amore. This means, I don't want to hear you talk anymore. I want to hear others talking about you. Whatever you end up doing, love it. I've talked a lot now, and I know you don't want to hear me talking anymore. I look forward to hearing the talk of all the great things that you all will be doing. Fordham will always be home to us, but now it's time. Time to go out, do what we love, and set the world on fire.
Thank you, Nicholas. Manhattan cocktail party guests were recently overheard talking with each other when it came to light that one of them was coming to the end of his term as chairman of the board of an independent school. What does it take to be a good chairman of the board? Someone asked this guest. His response, one must have the heart of a philanthropist and the mind of an assassin. Now, I can't say whether Jim Rohn has the mind of an assassin, but he does have a dangerous mind because he remembers everything. He has perfect recall. He remembers everything that anyone's ever said and can call it back months or even years later. And I can affirm unequivocally that he has the heart of a philanthropist. Or perhaps the better word, he has the heart of a benefactor, a word whose Latin root means to do service or to do good. Jim Rohn thinks carefully about the life he leads. His focus is not on what he can gain, but what he can give. He was introduced to Ignatian values through his dad, who graduated from Brooklyn Prep, and he passed on these values to his son Jim, who graduated from Regis. Jim Rohn is first and foremost a loving husband to Diane, a caring father of Caitlin, Jimmy VIII, and Megan. He is also a successful financial services executive and serves currently as Chief Operating Officer of Renaissance Technologies. Jim Rohn's magnanimity, his generosity of heart, is shaped profoundly by his education at Fordham Prep. About this, one must comprehend and recognize an astonishing fact. As a student, Jim Rohn traveled 2 hours each way from Long Beach, Long Island, to attend Fordham Prep. Despite this extraordinary commute, he made time to swim, play football, and serve as president of the Gaelic Society. So Jim traveled 4 hours daily for 180 class days for 4 years, 2,880 hours, or 120 days spent commuting between Long Island and the Bronx. Jim gives his time, wisdom, and resources to the prep because he feels a sense of obligation to his teachers, the Jesuits, the administrators, and his classmates. He is a triple Ram, having attended both Fordham College and the business school where he earned an MBA. Jim has extended himself to many people in many ways by acting as head of the Prep's investment committee, serving on the board of Malloy College with his extraordinary generous gifts to Fordham Prep's endowment and to our campus improvements program, and by establishing scholarships at Villanova and Fordham University for Fordham Prep alumni who demonstrate financial need. Jim is a benefactor indeed, and thanks to his legacy as a benefactor, many young men in future generations will be able to call the Prep their home for 4 years. Please welcome James S. Rohn VII, class of 1982, as he addresses the graduates of the class of 2016.
Does anybody want to guess what my name is? So good afternoon. Father Devron, members of the faculty, board members, parents, guests, and most of all, my brothers, the graduating class of 2016. To stand before you today is truly an honor for me. But before I begin, I would like to recognize the faculty and the administration for their devotion and support of the students of Fordham Prep during these recent emotionally challenging times. So from all of us, a sincere thank you. As chairman of the board, I spend a great deal of time with alumni, regardless if they graduated 70 years ago or 12 months ago. The reminiscing I do with them will be the same reminiscing I do with you in about an hour. Embellished stories of eluding the dean or negotiating your way out of jug, service trips or senior pranks, or the insanely difficult science exams. I can still remember the answer to the extra credit question on my sophomore chemistry exam. It was emotional rescue by the Rolling Stones, and the reason I highlight that is I got it right. Alumni will always agree on two things. Friendships forged at Fordham Prep will last a lifetime. And the other is, the Prep influenced their lives in ways they never could have imagined. 4 years ago, your parents gave you a gift of a Jesuit education. but more important, the opportunity to witness what it means to be a man for others. Today, you are joining a long list of alumni whose legacy began with this rite of passage, a prep graduation. The alumni included distinguished doctors and attorneys and senators, congressmen, law enforcement, military personnel, members of the religious orders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, educators, craftsmen, husbands, and most importantly, fathers. But it's not their career or position in life that defined them. It was their legacy. A legacy that comprised a lifetime of relationships, accomplishments, truths, and values carried on in the lives that they had touched. I would ask that you take a moment to reflect on the one or two individuals, and let's not include family members, that you give credit to for influencing your life. Perhaps it's a teacher, a coach, a classmate, a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, a manager, or again, a member of the religious order. What did these individuals that immediately came to mind ask you for in return? That answer is not so obvious. The Fordham Prep Hall of Honor has dozens of examples of extraordinary people. Men like you that sat in those seats, got involved, and changed lives, expecting nothing in return. Here are just a few examples of some of those extraordinary individuals. The Most Reverend John J. Hughes. I'm not sure he knew what his legacy would be when he came from Ireland at age 20. And he certainly didn't know what it was going to be when he was initially rejected from the local seminary based on the lack of education. Passion, drive, vision, and perhaps the unwillingness to be deterred led this immigrant to not only fulfill his dream of being a priest, but to make education available to others. By the age of 44, he had founded St. John's College, today known as Fordham University and Fordham Prep. He also assisted in founding of Manhattan College, Manhattanville College, and the College of Mount St. Vincent. His legacy evolved from his passion, his compassion, and his willingness to go above and beyond. More than 18,000 Fordham Prep alumni over 175 years can trace part of their legacy to his. The Most Reverend Walter P. Kellenberg, Fordham Prep Class 1990. He lived on 166th Street. Making education available to Catholic youth was his passion. As Rockville Center's founding bishop, he founded 3 colleges, 18 high schools, and scores of parish grammar schools. His legacy, he was not merely a witness to change, but he was a catalyst for it, addressing many of the social issues of the day and advocating for the availability of quality education to improve the lives of young Catholics. Staff Sergeant Robert C. Murray, Fordham Prep Class, 1964. He spent his young years on Marion Avenue in the Bronx, graduating the prep with honors. He went to Fordham University, and upon graduation in 1968, he was accepted to Harvard Business School. Upon receiving his draft notice, he put his Harvard plans on hold and served his country during the height of the Vietnam War. In August 1974, Vice President Gerald R. Ford presented the Medal of Honor to Staff Sergeant Robert C. Murray's family. A member of Robert's squad tripped an enemy grenade rigged as a booby trap. Robert unhesitantly threw himself on the grenade, absorbing the full and fatal impact of the explosion. He would prove himself a man for others by laying down his life to save his friends. Robert was 23. A friend commented on Robert by saying, "Robert always tried to make a difference." Robert's legacy and ultimate sacrifice endured. Joseph Lawrence Haesung Chow. After graduating the prep in 2003, he attended Amherst College. And upon graduation, he was sworn into the Peace Corps as a volunteer. On his application, giving credit for his desire to help others from his time at Fordham Prep. Joe moved to Kenya, where he taught chemistry and physics. And after experiencing the poverty firsthand, he contacted Fordham Prep to arrange for book donations for the poorest students of Kenya. Early in 2008, the Peace Corps suspended its program in Kenya due to the threat of violence. Joe's commitment to being in the service of others did not waver. He volunteered to take a position in Tanzania, Joe began to teach chemistry and college-level math and physics. He gave swimming lessons and worked out with the cross-country team. September 22nd, 2009, Joe was killed in a tragic accident in Tanzania. Joseph's legacy was shaped by his passion to help others without the need for recognition. His memory is honored in Africa as well as by the wider prep community. These are just a few examples of the impact the prep alumni has had. And there are hundreds more. Their legacy endures, in some cases, more than a century. I want to share one more story, and it's from a different perspective. It's my story. One person got involved, went above and beyond, and I feel changed the course of my life. That individual is Father Stan Okonski. It was early in senior year, and my mentor group was in the computer center over the library. Father Okonski was calling members of my mentoring group up to inquire about the status of their college applications, but more importantly, the college essay. My mother during the previous summer told me not to apply to college. We couldn't afford it. So when it was my turn to meet with Father Stan, I just said, I'm taking time off from school and I'm going to work at my uncle's hardware store. Father Okonski responded with, I see. How many of you have Father Okonski? When you hear I see, it's just not a good outcome, right? It's basically, it's just not an answer that he's going to be happy with. He asked why, and I told him my mother felt that I could be successful at whatever I put my mind to. And then sheepishly said, college is expensive. He asked if I thought about Fordham University, and I said no. There was no point. The decision was made, and I went to get up. But the conversation didn't end. Father said, let's talk about this decision again. There are many other alternatives that you may want to explore. I've learned that Jesuits don't give you the answer, but boy, they'll support you in your journey to find it. A few days later, he said to me, do me a favor, fill out the college application for Fordham and start working on your essay. So after that, Father Stan would ask about what's the status with the application. He'd ask what version I was on my essay. He would critique it, and he would give it back to me. The day before the Fordham application was to be submitted, he stopped by my desk and said, tell your mother that I'm sure it will be all right if you decide to go to Fordham. Needless to say, I attended Fordham University, concentrated my classes 3 days a week and went to school at night, took loans, and worked in the hardware store the other 3 days a week. I asked you earlier to reflect on the individuals that you give credit to for influencing your life. Father Stan's willingness to get involved, provide support and encouragement, clearly sent my life in a different direction. The reason I stand before you today is because Father Stan was involved 34 years ago. You will shortly become alumni of a high school with origins dating back 175 years. You now have the tools not only to survive, but to thrive. Honor your parents and the alumni before you. Be one of those extraordinary people that gets involved, changes lives, and expects nothing in return. Your legacy will be how you lived your life. Let the world experience the ripple effect of your legacy. Congratulations again to my prep brothers graduating class of 2016.
Thank you, Jim, for reminding us about our legacy and your legacy as you move on from Fordham Prep.
Father President, on the recommendation of the faculty of Fordham Preparatory School, I am pleased to present to you for diplomas of graduation the following students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies in Fordham Preparatory School.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to award diplomas of graduation to the class of 2016.
A professional photographer will take a photograph of each graduate as he receives his diploma. The sample picture will be sent to your home or email address. We ask for your cooperation by not interfering with the photographer, the graduates, or the view of all of our parents and guests of the graduates. I would ask Prep alumni and those associated with Fordham Prep or Fordham University who are presenting diplomas to come up to the side of the stage to join your relative when he lines up and accompany him onto the stage. Thank you. Miguel Franco D. Abad. Andrew S. Abatista. Daniel A. Alarcon Huesca. Maximilian A. K. Alejo Chaban. Rory P. Allen. Miles K. Asante. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Dominic Beninati, class of '85, who will present the diploma to his son, Christopher Beninati. Alexander J. Bidwell. Leopold V. Bottinger. Nicholas J. Breslin. Mark A. Brockwell. Andrew L. Brown. James A. Cabrera. Stefano F. Calabro. Alessandro Canicati. Rick Carius. James Carrion. Martin A. Caruso. John M. Casella. Arturo E. Castillo. Brian P. Crystal. Mrs. Rosalie Cirillo, office manager at Fordham University, will present the diploma to her son, Christopher J. Cirillo. Michael A. Collada. Christopher F. Camiso. Derek P. Conlon. Alan Cook. Aiden J. Costello. Eddie C. Cruz. Michael S. D'Alessandro. Jack M. Daly. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Ernesto Di Cieno, class of '86, who will present the diploma to his son, Gianluca Di Cieno. Anthony L. Della Camera. Thomas G. DeLucci. Liam P. DeStefano. Isaiah A. Diaz. Michael M. Dillon. John A. Dinelli. Kieran P. Doherty. Matthew R. Doherty. Thomas F. Doyle, Jr. William Duffy. John L. Dufresne. Zachary J. Dulac. James A. Dizwara. Jack S. Endy. Timothy M. Facciola. Anthony J. Feda. This is the second commencement for Mr. Steve Fearon, class of '82, who will present the diploma to his son, Owen M. Fearon. Nicholas M. Fell. Michael H. Filardi. Noah R. Fine. Liam J. Flynn. Edward M. Fogarty III. Paul J. Fortunevich. Joseph Fraticanjali. Michael G. Fraticanjali. Dylan J. Frawley. Eric J. Freed. Robert E. Fusigna. Matthew J. Galea. Niall G. Gallagher. Rory B. Gavin. Valentino Getsai. Matthew M. Joya. Anthony L. Jalaj. William G. Golden III. Justin M. Gomez. Robert L. Gonfiantini. Jorge A. Gonzalez Ray. Joseph G. Gonzalez. Andrew T. Gray. Mark A. Guberti. Seamus R.Z. Hall. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Joseph Hamilton, class of 1947, who will present the diploma to his grandson, Paul J. Hamilton. Ravindra Harry. Alexander C. J. Hartson. Eric Hoffer. James H. Hulber. Daniel J. Hurley. Anthony Jabor. John P. Jankovic. Nicholas A. Jones. Colin M. Judge. Jaron E. Kakanat. Henry S. Kaufman. Matthew J. Keene. Nicholas R. Kahn. Kieran J. Kilduff. John D. Kilkenny. Matthew C. Kolenda. Felix F. Kovarik. Nicholas I. Kumar. Peter T. Cusick. Jean E. Lafon. Mark G. Landino. Christopher M. Laskay. Jason A. C. Latham. Charles W. Lazzaroni. Christopher R. Lento. John M. Laconje, Jr. Stephen Lindblom. Luke C. Lindsay. Daniel E. Lopez. Yep. Stephen Lopez. This will be a second commencement for Mr. James P. Lundy, class of 1948, who will present the diploma to his grandson, Connor T. Lundy. Sean D. McGowan. Brandon S. McCrae. Joseph O. McGuck. Kevin M. Mahan. Colin J. Malarchuk. Peter Marjanovic. William D. Marmon. This will be the second commencement for Mr. Anthony Mazza, class of 1985, who will present the diploma to his son, Maxwell L. Mazza. Brian T. McAuliffe. Timothy J. McAward. Daniel B. McCabe. Eamon M. McCaffrey. John P. McCarthy. John P. McDonald. Matthew D. McFadden. Jack R. McIntyre. William C. McKay. John R. McMenamin. Connor R. McNamara. John J. McVitie. Ryan J. Mendez. Christopher J. Misana. Connor M. Miller. Matthew A. Moores. William P. Morrissey. Brendan P. Mulqueen. Luke T. Murray. Kyle J. Neblo. Trong N. Nguyen. Alec Nikaj. Panayoti C. Nicholas. Daniel P. O'Brien. This will be the second commencement for Mr. Thomas O'Loughlin, class of 78, who will present the diploma to his son, James T. O'Loughlin. Scott R. O'Rourke. Jeffrey Ogando Reyes. Andrew C. B. Ohakam. Juan N. Pabon Morales. Christopher C. Pace. Philip Pauliello. William S. Pascocello. Jeet Patel. Daniel Pena. Neil Perrycheck. Frank E. Perez. Matthew R. Pike. Ramon A. Pineda. Philip J. Pappas. John P. Quagliarello. Matthew J. Razor. Justin J. Ricciardi. John G. Riccio. Christian R. Reese. Kendall A. Roman. Nicholas D. Roman. Nikki Rukai. Diani Ruiz. This will be a second commencement for Dr. James Russell, class of 1970, who will present the diploma to his son, John C. Russell. Gabriel K. Seguin. Joseph A. Salzo. Adam P. Santoro. John A. Santucci. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Joseph Scalisi, class of 1982, who will present the diploma to his son, Joseph C. Scalisi. Nicholas J. Scambia. David W. Schneider. Lars E. Schonander. Michael N. Schultz. Joseph T. Schultzberg. Matthew R. Scott. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Angelo Sadaka, class of 1989, who will present the diploma to his son, Nicholas A. Sadaka. Trevor W. Sermon. Christopher J. Smith. Tyler M. Smith. Anthony Soto. Mr. Carey J. Steer, Fordham Prep Board of Trustees, will present a diploma to his son, Carey J. Steer, Jr. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Brian Sullivan, class of 1978, who will present the diploma to his son, Brian M. Sullivan. G. Edward Sullivan. Ron Christopher C. Takadong. Luke S. Tagliaferri. Mujiz Tariq. Brendan P. Ty. J. T. Tobin. Patrick J. Tracy. Colin P. Trimble. Ian M. Tunney. Emeka Ugwu. Luke R. Vaca. Ian J. Van Hoek. Albion Velik. Godfrey I. Vincent. Alfred E. Vogel, Jr. John W. Walsh. Callan P. Walsh. This will be a second commencement for Mr. John Walzer, class of 1985, who will present the diploma to his son, John J. Walzer IV. Jabari A. West. Alexander C. Weeder III. Samuel H. Wolf. This will be a second commencement for Mr. Richard Wright, class of 1991, who will present the diploma to his son, Richard J. Wright III. Connor Young. Andrew C. Zabak. Michael P. Zaccardi. David A. Zivon. Gentlemen, congratulations. It is challenging for a student to achieve academic distinction in all subject areas during an entire high school career. When this achievement occurs, Fordham Prep is proud to award plaques of academic achievement for their years at Fordham. Mrs. Teresa Napoli, the Assistant Principal for Academics and Student Life, will announce the names of the students who will receive this award. Father Stanley J. Okonski, S.J., and Mr. Jack Foley will present these plaques. Please come forward as your name is called. We ask you to hold your applause until all the names have been called. Thank you.
Andrew S. Abatista, Leopold V. Bottinger, Christopher J. Cirillo, Alan P. Cook, Michael S. D'Alessandro, Liam P. DeStefano, John A. Dinelli, Matthew R. Doherty, Thomas F. Doyle, Jr., Zachary J. Dulac, James A. Diswara, Liam J. Flynn, Edward M. Fogarty III, Robert E.C. Fusigna. Niall G. Gallagher. Jorge A. Gonzalez Ray. Andrew T. Gray. Mark A. Guberti. Jaren E. Kakinat. Nicholas R. Khan. Nicholas I. Kumar. Peter T. Cusick. Mark G. Landino. Christopher M. Laskay. Christopher R. Lento. Connor T. Lundy. William D. Marmont. William C. McKay. John R. McMenamin. Christopher J. Masana. Trung Nguyen. Juan N. Pabon Morales. Christopher C. Pace. William S. Pasquicello. Jeet Patel. Justin J. Ricciardi. John G. Riccio. Gabriel K. Sagan. Joseph A. Salzo. Nicholas J. Scambia. George E. Sullivan. Ron Christopher C. Tackendam. Brendan P. Ty. Ian M. Tunney. Ian J. Van Hoek. Godfrey I. Vincent. Alexander C. Weeder III. And Michael P. Zaccardi. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Tonight is the final commencement for three longtime and beloved members of the Preps community. Father Mal Fitzpatrick served for 57 years as a member of the Guidance and Fine Arts departments. Mike Lasenek served for 38 years in the Guidance department, and Joan Woolman has served in the Development Office for 35 years. Please join me in congratulating and thanking them for their extraordinary service to Fordham Prep. In a few short months, gentlemen, you will be undergoing a transition. A year ago, Fordham Prep underwent its own transition. And I would like to thank, on behalf of all of us, Mr. Brian Carney for answering the call of service and serving as our principal this year. The members of the class of 2016 have requested an opportunity to publicly thank their parents for all they have done for them. Gentlemen, thank you for 4 great years. Fordham Prep will always be your home. Please stay in touch. You have now joined an exceptional group, and as Mr. Rowan said, a brotherhood, the Fordham Prep alumni body. Your accomplishments in college and beyond will enhance the already illustrious history of this group. God bless you.
Everyone is now asked to stand and join in the singing of the alma mater. The words may be found in the back of the graduation program. Ladies and gentlemen, I declare the 171st Commencement of Fordham Preparatory School adjourned. Please join in the singing of the Ram during the recessional. Please remain in your seats until the procession has left the gym. Gentlemen, the Ram.